Good morning, everyone. I'm Kanak Lakshmi, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, and I'm working in NPR College of Engineering and Technology. Today, I would like to take the class of Probability and Queuing Theory, and the subject code of this subject is MA8402. What is probability? As you all know it, probability theory has its beginning in the early 17th century as a result of investigation in various games. Since then, many leading mathematicians and scientists made contributions in this story. However, despite this long and active history, probability theory was not axiomatized until the 20th century. The axiomatic development called modern probability theory was then able to make the concept of probability precise and place them on the firm mathematical foundations. One of the most noticeable aspects of many computer science related phenomena is the lack of certainty. When a job is submitted to a batch-oriented computer system, the exact time of completion of a job is uncertain. The number of jobs then will be submitted to the next day is not known, either similar to the exact response time for an interactive inquiry system or not. If the terminal attachment to the communication line are polled until one of the found that is ready to transmit or not. Probability allows us to qualify the variability in the outcome of any experiment whose exact outcome cannot be predicted with certainty. However, before going into the probability, it is necessary to specify the space of outcomes and the events on which it will be defined. If an experiment is repeated under essentially similar conditions, we come across two types of situations. The outcome of the experiment is unique or not. The second one is the result may be unique or not. The result may not be unique, but one of the several possible outcomes. For example, in tossing a coin, we are not sure if the head or a tail will be the outcome. But in any case, it is definitely one of the two possible outcomes. Yes or no? Yes. So here we are using random experiment and we'll get the sample space for that experiment at account. And here in possibilities of this random experiment and sample space will occur in each and every experiment. So I want to tell you this probability is nothing but trial and error process in mathematics. So here in probability and queuing theory we come across 5 major topics. Let me explain you one by one. The first one is Unit 1, Probability and Random Variables. In this probability and random variables, we'll learn about the probability, axioms of probability, conditional probability, Bayes' theorem, discrete and continuous random variables, moments, and then moment generating functions. And also in this probability, we are going to come across 6 major distributions. They are binomial distribution, Poisson distribution, geometric distribution, uniform distribution, exponential distribution, and normal distributions. These 6 major distributions will learn about the discrete and continuous random variables. By using the discrete and continuous random variables, we are going to learn these 6 distributions. Okay. And in Unit 2, we are going to learn about 2-dimensional random variables. In this 2-dimensional random variables, we are going to learn about joint distributions, marginal and conditional distributions, covariance, correlation and linear regressions, transformation of random variables, at last, central limit theorem. In this central limit theorem, we'll come across 3 major parts and 3 major formulas also. Okay, and this central limit theorem is meant for independent and identically distributed random variables. And then we are going to learn Unit 3. Unit 3 is nothing but random processes. Do you want to know about random processes? Yes. Later in Unit 3, I'll explain you. Okay. And here in this random process, we are going to learn about classification, stationary process, Markov process, Poisson process, discrete parameter Markov chain, Chapman-Kolmogorov equations, at last limiting distributions. So these are the headings we are going to come across in random process. In this probability and queuing theory, the first 3 units deals with probability, and after that, 4th and 5th unit deals with queuing theory. In unit 4, the title of this unit 4 is queuing models. In this unit, we are going to learn about Markovian queues. Okay, let me explain you what is meant by queuing. So queuing is nothing but we are waiting in a queue to get a service. Either the car is waiting in a garage or the patient is waiting in a we'll wait in a queue to get our service from the doctor. Whatever it may be, whatever the work we are getting, that is called service. The work who is getting from, so that particular person is called customer. Whatever the work may be, that is not a matter here. So in this queuing models, we are going to learn about those impatient customers and the service we are getting from the service center. So for learning this queuing models, we are going to learn some models, that is queues, models of the queues, models of the customers. Okay, we are going to learn about those type of customers and queues in this queuing models. First one is Markovian queues, and then birth and death processes, and then single and multiple server queuing models. After that, Little's formula. Little's formula, what is meant by Little's formula? We are going to come across the 4 major formulas in this Little formula. Little's formula plays a major role in moving the queuing models. So later I'll tell you what is meant by Little's formula now, and here I just want to tell you Little's formula plays a major role for learning these queuing models. After that, we are going to learn about queues with finite waiting rooms. Sometimes we'll learn about the queues with infinite waiting rooms also. Okay, so queues with impatient customers. So what does it mean, impatient customers? The customers used to do the following things and all, that is bulging and reneging and all. So we used to say sometimes somewhere, while we are going for not an interview, but if you are going for some temples or in some railway station, the people used to mash us simply, isn't it? And they used to get the service first. They'll have the intention to get the service first. For that they used to do some atrocious things. So those persons were treated as impatient customers here. In mathematical term, we used to call those type of persons as impatient customers to get the service from the center. So those customers are divided into the following categories: that bulging and reneging, that is the characteristics of the customers. So those type of things we are going to learn in mathematical conditions, mathematical terms in this unit. And at last, in unit 5, the name of this unit 5 is Advanced Queuing Models. In this unit, we are going to learn about finite source models, MG1Q, Pollaczek-Chaikin formula, MD1 and MEK1 as special cases. So special cases of these things we are going to learn here. That is this Pollaczek-Chaikin formula. According to this formula, we are going to split those two queues as MD1 and MEK1, and that's why they are considered as special cases. The extension of this formula, we are going to learn it in detail. After that, we are going to learn about the series queues. At last, Open Jackson networks. So this is the syllabus of what? PQT, probability and queuing theory. And I want to share about the textbook also. What is the textbook you should use to learn this probability and queuing theory? So, university has suggested the textbooks IBEOC Fundamentals of Applied Probability and Random Process, First Indian reprint 2007, and Gross S. and Harris C.M. Fundamentals of Queuing Theory, Wiley Student Edition 2004. So these are the two textbooks. After that, they are given some reference books. So you may use that reference book for your reference. The main objective of this probability and queuing theory is to provide the required mathematical support in real-life problems and develop probabilistic models which can be used in several areas of science and technology. So, first, I want to explain what is meant by random variables. Let's move on to Unit 1 first. Random variables. What is meant by random variables? What is meant by random variables? Let me explain you. Random variables is nothing but the outcomes of the particular event which is taking place. If you are tossing a coin, what are the random variables we will get it from? Either head or tail. So head and tail, those were considered as random variables here. Either you may get a head or tail. If you throw a die, what are the random variables which we will get? Either you may get the value of 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. So those things were considered as random variable. Thus a random variable is considered as a function of maps of all elements in the space, that is sample space. Here they are treating the sample space as capital S into the points on a real line. They used to have the notation x of s, which is treated as small x, which means a value associated with the outcomes by the random variable capital X. Okay, suppose here they are telling about the sample space. We'll take the sample space as capital S, and capital S can be considered as the sample space, and if you are throwing a single coin, we'll get S is equal to h comma t. H comma t. Okay, so we'll get the number of sample space as 2. If we are throwing a coin 2 times, then what is the outcome? In the first coin you may get head first, and in the second coin you may get tail. It will be obvious, whatever it may be. Okay, so the outcomes, the sample space, what are the samples you may get? Here head and there also head. Here tail, there head. Here head, there tail, and here and there both way tail, so that you may get your sample space as HH, HT, TH, TT. So you will get the number of sample space as 4. So this is how you should find the number of sample space. Okay. So after that, you should learn what is meant by random variables. They are telling you about the random variables. In this sample space of these outcomes, associated with the number by specifying a rule of association. Such a rule they are designing, that rule is called as random variables. Example, if you want to get the number of heads, so what are the things you may get? In 2 coins, you may get, in both the coins you may get head, H and H. Okay, so 2 heads. Suppose here head and there tail. So that number of head is 1. If here in first coin you may get tail, and in second coin also you may get tail, then the random variable of that particular event is 0. Okay, so this is how you should find the random variables. Okay, first one, in first topic we are going to learn about discrete random variable. What is meant by discrete random variables? That is, I already told you, finite number of values which we are taking it out, that is called discrete random variables. Whereas in continuous random variables, infinite number of values will take. That's how that was described in intervals. Here in discrete random variables, it is described only in the values, in the form of values. So in discrete random variable, it is nothing but a random variable of x, which possible values constitute finite set of values or countable infinite set of values, which is countable. Okay, so all the random variables or discrete random variables which we can take, which is countable. Countable number of values can be considered as discrete random variable, and here the notation we'll use is summation. Okay, let me tell you how to do the problem. Okay, I just want to tell you how to do the problem of the discrete random variable. And one thing I just want to tell you, in probability, the major part, the mathematical term we'll use is 0 and 1. Whatever sum you do, whatever problem you will come across, the probability of getting chances is either 1 or 0. You'll get your answer from 0 to 1. That is the major part of probability. Okay. And also I'll tell you